Hey, hello everybody. Real quick, I'm watching the news and mainstream media, and I can't help myself. These people are talking about the national debt, and it drives me crazy. I can only imagine how it drives people like Steve or Dr. Kelton or Dr. Joe Firestone. How it would drive these people crazy to watch just a regular segment on the mainstream media. The mainstream narrative that they feed us it's insanity. The national debt is not a burden in any type of way. Debt for a monetarily sovereign government is completely different, because it makes its own money. It's not the same for us. Debt for us is real debt. We're revenue constrained. We have to pay back our debts and we can't make our own money. For a government, it's completely different, So we offset bonds we offset our deficits with bonds, So all the dollars in existence is our national debt, and the fact is if our national debt was zero, then we would have $0 in existence. All right. So really our national debt is in fact our national savings account. All right. And really this is it's an operationally obsolete practice to offset deficits with, bonds. Dr. Joe Firestone has this very simple yet revolutionary language, overt congressional financing clause. And so any politician that cries about our national debt being a burden on future generations, when confronted with this clause, would be forced to either concede the point or lose all credibility, because what this clause does is it ends the obsolete practice of offsetting deficits with bonds, and in the second part of the clause directly authorizes the New York Federal Reserve to credit the Treasury spending account with the necessary monies needed to pay off all existing debt instruments, principal and interest as it falls due for the year of the appropriation. So effectively, this takes the scare tactic of the national debt off the table completely. We can spend without issuing new debt, and we can pay off all existing debt instruments as it falls due for the appropriation, as long as this language is included in every new spending bill or appropriations bill from Congress. So they can never say that they're worried about the national debt, and that's why that they're going to cut some social program or they're not going to spend for some social program. There's other ways too. Since 96, they could have, the executive branch could have just minted a platinum coin and done it that way and credited the Treasury spending account with the seniorage. Dr. Joe also explains all that. So the fact of the matter is, when you're watching the mainstream news, and even the Democrats concede to the points of the right wing. Even the Democrats use the right wing neoliberal economic narrative. It's trickled down. They target the middle class, but really that's still trickle down economics. We all know that. And right now, they even concede with the right. They're saying that our government, our economy is at full employment and we're booming. This is insanity to say that while we have millions of unemployed people, millions more underemployed, and our labor wages haven't went up since the 70s, while corporate profits and productivity and cost of living is at record highs. So, to say our economy's booming is insanity. We need a party that represents the bottom income distribution first and foremost. We need a real party that represents labor. You know, when you guarantee the jobs of the bottom income distribution, that since they make up the largest segment of society, the more they have, the more they demand and guarantee the jobs of the skilled and educated above them. You know, demand travels up. It doesn't trickle down. You know, simple logic, guys. And I'm sick of watching these crazy mainstream narratives. You know, we got to start speaking out and countering every time we see someone talking about this stuff. I know it gets overwhelming, but we have to keep, interjecting with logic, because that's the only way we're going to start to change, people's perception is, and the good thing is it is simple logic. And so when people do dive into the material, they learn. And, and once the lights go on, you see every way, everything you see is different. Everything's implicated. But I'm going to, I just wanted to say that we need to, keep up the hope, keep spreading the truth, real progressives. Look up Dr. Stephanie Kelton and Dr. Bill Mitchell, Ellis Winningham, Dr. Joe Firestone, Steve Grumbine. Follow Deficit L's and Real Progressives on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook. We are the revolution. We're the media. Okay, we have to stand up and speak out, all of us. All right, thanks, guys. Peace.